All right, before I started this video, I just want to say, if you guys didn't catch my last video, make sure you go check it out. I'll put a link right up top here. We got this thing on the dyno. She made all the sauce I wanted her to make. This thing absolutely rips. We got a first drive reaction to that video. So if you didn't catch that, just click that link. Go check it out right now. That was such a fun video to film, and it's pretty much the video this whole build has been leading up to. So go check it out. Now to get into this video, right after we get the car finished on the dyno, we had Driven show the next day, and I didn't end up vlogging anything throughout the day at Driven. Thank you guys so much for coming to check out the car. The turnout was absolutely unreal. I had people surrounding my car all day, and it was absolutely insane. I've never had that many people looking at and appreciating something that I built myself in my life. So that was so cool to see. And I actually had a subscriber come up to me. He's from Saskatoon. Man, I can't remember your name. I'm so sorry, but if you're seeing this, thank you so much for coming. He drove all the way from Saskatoon to come to Driven Edmonton, and he came to check out the car, and the first thing he said to me was, dude, it looks so much better in person. And I was like, what? What do you mean it looks better in person? Like, where else have you seen the car? And he's like, dude, I've been watching your videos since you had like 50 subscribers. I was like, what? That was the first time I've ever had any interaction with a subscriber of somebody that I haven't met. And that was such a cool experience to see. So I'll pop up a picture on the screen right here of my car at the show. It's an edited picture, but it looked absolutely unreal. So I'll pop that up just so you look at it for a sec, because it looked sexy as shit. And another thing that I pulled out of my ass at the show, because we got off the dyno at like 1 a.m. And if you guys saw the outro to that last video, I had to film it in the shop because it was pitch black outside. So it was a super late night. I didn't go to bed till like probably 4 a.m. because it was an hour and a half drive home from the city. And then by the time I got everything packed up, got the car ready for the show that night, it was like 4:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning around there. And then I pretty much had a nap. I didn't even go to sleep. And then woke up at 7:30, drove to my work, washed the car, and then went straight to the show. So I was running off like 2.5 hours of sleep. That's why I didn't film anything. But like I said, I pulled it out of my ass. We actually won Best in Class Subaru at the whole show, which was absolutely insane. The YEG Subies booth absolutely killed it. My buddy Scotty, I'll put his Instagram down below. He actually won Best in Show Subaru there as well. He has like a 2018 STI, I believe. It's the newer body style, the V8 chassis. And that thing's dope. It's on bags. I'll link his Instagram down below. He won Best in Show, and he absolutely killed it. And then when I won, I wish I was filming, like I said, but it was crazy because they called names. And then when they called Best in Class Subaru, I was just like, oh, whatever, I'm not getting this. And then they were like, we got a 2010 Subaru STI hatchback. And I was like, what? There was one other Subaru STI hatchback there. So I'm like, oh, it's gotta be him. Or sorry, there was 2 STI hatchbacks there. And then my buddy Gearson that was there with me was like, dude, this is you, bro. This is you. And then they were like, this one goes out to Daniel Keller. And I was like, holy shit, are you serious? Like, I had no idea I was gonna win. Especially for getting off the dyno at 1 a.m. and then going to the show at 7:30 the next day and then pulling a win out of my ass. It was a crazy experience. I wish I would have filmed it, but I was way too tired. But I got a trophy, and that's a memory I will not forget for the rest of my life, because that was awesome. So I'm actually just gonna put a little clip in here of me getting the award, because I was so shocked. I was so pumped.
Best in Show Subaru goes to
And then right after the show pretty much leads me into this video. I still hadn't even ripped on the car that much from the tune because, again, it was late at night. I drove it a little bit, but after the show, I wanted to do a couple data logs just to send to my tuner because I was getting a little bit of feedback knock, but not much. And we just wanted to make sure everything was all good. So I get on the highway on the way to my house, start doing some pulls, whatever, and it absolutely rips, tossed me in the seat super hard. I grabbed second gear, grabbed third gear, probably got up to, we're gonna say 100 kilometers an hour for the video. And then I just hear the loudest like bang crunch, like it was so loud in the right front of my car while I'm driving. And I was like, oh my God, did I just blow a tire? Pulled over to the side of the road, and then my car looked like this. Obviously the tire wasn't off the car, but bumper's just hanging there. Whole fender liner's gone. The piece is gone with the STI badge. My side skirt popped out. The bracket for my mud flaps all bent to shit. And here's the carnage from everything that happened. This piece is absolutely destroyed. All the fins are busted out and bent on the inside. This piece is cracked and all folded over. All the body clips are gone. That's garbage. Fender liner is in a million pieces. I looked on the highway for like probably an hour and a half to find all the pieces. And the one that was the hardest to find, and I finally found it, I actually went back the next day to look for it on the side of the highway, was this STI badge. And it was scratched up a little bit, but I took a black paint pen and touched it up. I'm sure you guys can see it looks really shitty. I'm gonna get 2 new ones ordered because they got the pink STI logo on there. I can only find them with the red logo, so I gotta do some searching. So I'm gonna put this one back on for now. It just sucked that literally the day after the show, my car just destroyed itself on the right side here. So yeah, disclaimer to this video, kind of clickbait. Everybody is probably seeing this thinking I blew this thing up, but I didn't. It still runs, it still rips, but we destroyed some body panels. So it's not the end of the world. It's nothing that can't be fixed. It just costs money. So I spent about 225 bucks getting new parts here. I went to Subaru, got OEM stuff. Straight out of the box here, first thing I got is the bracket that holds the bumper in the front here. My old bracket is still okay. I actually have it right here. It's not broken or anything, but when I click the bumper back into it, it does sit a little bit low. So I think it might be slightly bent or the plastic might be warped on it. So I got a new one either way. Then this is the worst part of all this. This new piece here is the new trim panel for the side. And it doesn't come painted. So I gotta get this thing painted again. And it came with a chrome STI badge. So luckily I found the other one on the highway. I'm gonna put it back on. But like I said, I'm gonna try and find some new ones that aren't all scratched up. Then the other piece I got here is a brand new fender liner because obviously that one is not fixable. I was honestly debating zip tying it together, but the new fender liner I got for like 76 bucks. So I was like, you know what? I'll just buy a new one. I am gonna have to cut it to fit because my fenders are rolled. So that's just gonna stick out and hit the wheel again. But I'll show you guys why this happened, or I think why it happened at least. So if we hop under the car here, you will see that I got the whole skid plate under there. That side, obviously, there's no fender liner left. Rest in peace. And on this side, I still got the fender liner there. And if you guys caught the dyno video, you would have seen that I had the front bumper off on the dyno. When we got off the dyno, I was able to get the front bumper on, but I couldn't get 2 of my clips back in the fender liner. So I got that bolt up there securing the fender liner, but on the front, there's one body clip here and one body clip here that hold the fender liner on. And because I was on the dyno, I couldn't get under the car to get these on, so I just left them loose. But looking at this seems pretty secure, right? Like it's not going anywhere. It's nice and secure on the back, doesn't move, but on the front, it flaps around here a little bit. So I thought it was okay to drive. And I drove on that for like 2 days, like the whole night after the dyno, I was ripping on it. All the way to Driven, I was ripping on it. And then after the show, when I was on the highway, that side decided to let go. So I think what happened was since I didn't have these clips in the front, for some reason, the other side decided to let go. It folded down, the wind grabbed it, pulled it into the tire, and then the tire just grabbed it and just grenaded that whole thing, which obviously sucks. So this fender liner is pretty messed up. So is my old one. So I actually drilled holes in it. If you could see right there, I drilled a hole in it so I can stick a zip tie through the bottom and zip tie it to that little hole. And I drilled another hole at the back right there. So I'm gonna get this one re-zip tied just so that doesn't happen again. Then on this side, if you check out underneath here, there's no fender liner anywhere. Like it ripped it clean off. The only thing that's left is the screw that was holding the fender liner before that I had in there. And obviously every single body clip in this fender well just absolutely despawned. They're completely gone. But lucky for me, I got a million body clips laying around the shop. So first things first, I'm gonna need to get that mud flap taken off. Maybe I'll have to bend the bracket back a little bit because like I showed you guys before, it's pretty bent up and does not sit right. So I'm gonna get this mud flap taken off, get the fender liner completely installed, get the mud flap back on and bend the bracket the way I need to get it to fit with the fender liner. And then my fender liner is gonna hang down like this because my fenders are rolled. So I'm gonna need to draw a line and cut my fender liner again. And then one thing I might need to do with this front bumper is this little square that the body clip goes into there is a little bit bent up. Not sure if you guys can see that, but I might take a rubber mallet and just tap it up just to straighten it out so that I know that's sitting straight so that my bumper will line up flush. And then we could get that bracket installed, get the fender liner in, and then I still need to get that piece painted, but I want to drive the car on Sunday, so I'm going to install it just with the black piece and the chrome STI badge for now. All right, right, so I got the fender liner like 90% installed now, but as I was putting it in, I realized that when that fender liner ripped out, it messed up a couple more things than I thought it did. So I had to drill a couple holes. On the OEM fender liner, the body clip hole sits up here for 2010 STI. I have the 2014 front bumper, so I had to drill a hole down here to make that body clip fit. And then my bottom piece on the bumper actually busted out, so I couldn't body clip it there. I tried super gluing it, it just busts out every time. So I just drilled a hole a little bit higher up and put a body clip there. Then I got this bumper to line up really nice. All I had to do was take a mallet and hammer up the mounts right where that little bracket sits in. I bent them back up, got the bracket in, zipped the bolts in, zipped the headlight bolt in, and then it turned out with really good lines. Oh, I'm forgetting one body clip over here. I don't want this thing to fly apart again on the highway. There we go. And I also bent this mud flap bracket back so that it's straight, and I got the fender liner sitting behind it. Another thing that broke is the screw on the back of the mud flap here. Not sure if you guys can see it there, but the screw that mounts the mud flap bracket mounts into a piece that's part of the quarter panel, and that metal piece on the quarter panel literally busted right open. So that screw just spins in place, but it's nice and secure from the top one, so it's not going anywhere. Then another thing I realized with my side skirt, if you look on the side here, that piece that mounts the body clip busted right off. So I'm gonna have to glue that together. And then hopping under the car, I'll show you guys how I secured it on the bottom here. I actually drilled a hole in the fender liner on this side and on this side, and then I just ran a zip tie through the holes on the bottom, zip tied them on. I still gotta cut the zip ties, but it's nice and secure. It's not going nowhere. And then there's also one bolt right there, which that was the last thing left of my fender liner after it ripped out. So I still use the same bolt. And then I did the same thing on this side just to make sure this is nice and secure and it's not gonna fly out and destroy itself again. So now I'm at the point where everything's secure and I gotta cut the fender liner. It sucks to cut into a brand new fender liner, but I gotta do it or else it's probably gonna rub and it's just gonna make a big mess. If you look at the side of the fender here, since it's rolled and that fender liner won't tuck up into the quarter panel, you can see the whole lip on the top there of the fender liner. So what I did was I drew a white paint pen line of where I'm gonna cut all the way on the inside of the fender liner, just so that it's not gonna be visibly hanging down from the outside. And then I made sure I left the front pieces so that this is covered so it's not shooting rocks and shit into my engine bay. So all I'm gonna use to cut this is these super sharp like shears that I got, and hopefully it turns out pretty straight. All right, fender liners are cut all the way around. Just cut out just under that line. All I did was cut little straight slits with the scissors, and then I cut those slits out, and then I took a little grinder and just smoothed it out all the way across. So now if you look at the fender from the outside, you can't see any fender liner, nice and clean, and hopefully this fender liner is not gonna grenade itself, because I don't wanna do this again. I just want my car to work. I don't want it to break. So the last piece that I had that was busted here is on this side skirt. The little bracket for the body clip was busted out. So I pulled this back, super glued this bracket back on. Oh my God, the lights are flashing like crazy. And then now I can get this black trim piece put on just for the meantime, because I want to drive my car because it rips. And then I'm gonna pop this off next week and get this piece painted blue again and get my black badge put back on there. But for now, we're just gonna do it like this. We're just gonna pop it on. Pretty sure that's supposed to go over the fender liner, isn't it? Look at this side. Yeah, it goes over the fender liner. All right, snap her in. All right, now that that's snapped in, we can get this side skirt up and popped in. Don't look like my holes line up anymore. I'm just gonna get this popped in off camera. This is way too hard to film. All right, so I got the piece on now. And honestly, something might have got a little bit bent up when that fender liner blew itself apart, because if you look at this side, the gap in the door is huge and this piece doesn't line up 100% here. And then if you come look at the other side, it's nice and flush and the gap is nice and small. Maybe I'm just overthinking it because the piece is black instead of blue on the other side, but I think there's definitely more of a gap there. It's like visibly noticeable. I don't care for now. I want to drive the car today. So I'm gonna get the wheel back on, get this thing on the ground. All right, she's on the ground, wheels torqued up, and we got our one mismatched colored body panel on there. That looks so goofy. Whatever, we're just gonna send it for today. And honestly, that's gonna be it for this video because we're going for a rip now. So I'll put that as my next video. You guys will get to meet my girlfriend. She's an absolute model, so maybe that'll get me some more subscribers because she's hot or something, I don't know. But we're gonna do some first drive reactions with maybe my girlfriend, maybe my mom, because she's gonna shit her pants when she gets in this thing. Maybe my dad. We'll get some reactions of the boys. I don't know, we're just gonna have fun with it, see what happens. So that's gonna be it for this one. Peace out, you guys. Thanks for watching. So happy I got this thing fixed. It's gonna be back on the road. And I will catch you guys in the next one.